Scott Brown here. In today's exciting episode, we come back from the South Island. Scott Brown here. I'm back from the South Island, had an awesome trip, and my foot isn't fractured. I mean, this is good news, right? This is great news. Basically what happened was, when I went to the doctor that time, they did x-rays of my heel and my side and everything, and they said, look, it looks like an avulsion fracture, we can see a bit of bone floating around in there, but then once they did the full report, they realized that that bone was rounded so much that it must have been in there for years. So I have had an avulsion fracture on my ankle, but it happened years ago. So all that means is, yeah, it was a bad sprain and now I'm walking on it. Now, this morning, in this exciting episode, we're gonna go and check out the previous job we were doing before I went away and do a bit of a before and after, because the kitchen is done, the laundry's done. They've moved all their furniture back in there. Let's see how it turned out. But while I'm making my way there, this is how my South Island trip went.
Back through time and space.
Now we are talking. Pretty stunning. Look at this. Whew. So Paito changed those stairs completely, took the stringers away to make it match the front stair that I did. This one has been redone as well to match all three, which match the back deck that was done before our time. And these weatherboards that we had to touch up, Saeed has actually just arrived and he's going to be painting all them, doing little touch-ups. So the idea is that we can make that higher and make this less. Not bad, eh? Look how much that has opened everything up. Very nice. I think the last time we were on this job, the kitchen was probably arriving around that time. Since then, Paito's sort of been holding the fort and all the different trades have been coming in. The benchtop guys, the kitchen cabinets, the splashback, plumbers, electricians. It's all come together really, really nicely. I really like the panels on these kitchen doors. It's not just your standard, you know, timber colored panel. It's got the pinstripe, vertical pinstripe, just to give it a bit more of an interesting look. And the LED lights always help. And that concrete looking splashback breaks it up nicely, I think. I'm not a real estate agent, but I do like these things. I do like seeing how we go from an old dated kitchen to this new, much nicer. And the laundry as well. The laundry's mint, and that's matching the kitchen cabinetry, and we've got our ceiling hatch up there as well, going up to the storage. Saeed is in there now just doing last minute touch-ups. That happens for most kitchen jobs, you know, a lot of stuff's being moved around and cabinets going in and benches getting pushed against the wall, and you chip bits of paint here and there. And then we're done. I'm gonna get my stuff and get out of here. Oh yeah, installing those cavity sliders has really helped the area. You know, when your door's open, it's not in the way, and that's really worked well with the way the kitchen's laid out, with both cabinets coming up to the door. And I think the bonus of this job was the flooring. Originally the plan was to pull up those questionable ceramic tiles and see what was there and probably put some overlay flooring in, but once we pulled that up, it was pretty evident how nice that flooring is. As soon as my mate Glenn came along and sanded it all up and polished it, It's beautiful. Native New Zealand timber flooring. Actually, where the cavity sliding door that goes into the kitchen is, there was a hole in the floor and it was covered up by the previous, wall framing that was there. So we had to patch it with something, and that's native timber flooring, it's hard to come by. So what we did was, the owner had held on to an old weatherboard that got removed, and it was underneath the house. So we scraped all the paint and everything off that weatherboard, put it through the table saw, planed it, sanded it, and it ended up matching the flooring really nicely. So yeah, they use some really nice timber to build these houses. All this stuff here, all native New Zealand timber. So I just gotta grab a few of my tools, get rid of these, and yeah, that's that. How good is this storage area, by the way? We also had the electrician put a light up here that turns on when you turn the laundry on. Right there. Oh, I've got to grab my lights as well. Now, I have a very familiar problem here. Hey?
How you doing?
Oh, how's it going?
There's some caps for you guys.
Oh, very nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, innovation. What do you got, mate? What do you got? Ooh, look at that. It's a beast.
Yeah, so that's a big one. And I think this is the longer, I'm sure I got you the longer version.
Ah, nice. So this exciting episode has just turned into an unboxing. But let's go back to the container where I'll explain my drawer problem. And we'll see what's in here, eh? Like, you know what's in here, but yeah. The issue with this drawer here, if you've seen my other video about how I built this drawer, you'll know that the original rails that I used, these ones here, they weren't strong enough for the weight that I put on them. So eventually they just disconnected, they stopped locking, and I had to replace them. So I ended up replacing that drawer. Now the other drawer inevitably did the same thing. And I've been kind of forcing it shut for the last 6 months, like just lifting it and pulling it open, and then when we're ready to close it again, I'll just force it in there. But after the 2 weeks that we were away in the South Island, I don't know, I guess it just gave up altogether. And now the drawer's just sitting in the container, unable to be used. Alright, this is a problem for another day. Temporary solution. Let's have a look at these tools, shall we? Oh. Would you look at that? That is massive. So there it is there, the 260mm diameter, 10.5 inch circular saw from Makita 40 volts. For a bit of scale, here's the 190mm. This is a more standard size circular saw that most builders have. Yeah. So this is great if you want to cut posts or something like that with. Now if you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll know that I made like 100 videos before I started getting tools given to me like this. But now they let me borrow tools like this, and if I like it, I get to keep it. I'm gonna borrow this one, see how it goes. Something tells me I'm gonna want to keep this one though. I've never really had a tool quite like this. One that can cut such depth. Don't know what the max depth is, I'll pop it right here, I'll do some proper research. But also one that's cordless, and it takes the 40 volt batteries. I'm on the 40 volt system now. Could be a good fit. So we'll see how that goes. That's like a first impression, just a little sneak peek. If you've got any questions that you want me to answer in the coming episodes when I start using this, let me know below. I've always used the DeWalt miter saw stand. This one here. So I've used that DeWalt one for 10-15 years now. No problems, it's great. Apparently Makita brought out one that a lot of people weren't happy with, and this one here has improvements on that previous one. So Oh yeah, it's got interesting kind of feet here. This rounded but to a point foot. This is adjustable. Oh yeah, it's got a good weight to it. Tell you what it is in the North Island. It's a lot warmer than the South Island. I'm in a t-shirt here with an undershirt. It's warm as. Look how sunny it is. Middle of winter. Sorry about the wind, it gets quite windy in Auckland, right by the sea. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't seen something like this before. Alright, can you see this? Oh yeah, perfect. Tighten that up. Oh my god. I mean, let's be honest, it's pretty light, so I'll probably just carry it like this. Anyway, I'm gonna sort all this stuff out myself and figure out if the Festool drop saw can fit on these, and sort out my van drawer next probably. We've got a bit of a gap until the next projects start. We're looking at a couple of projects at the moment. So in the meantime, I'm gonna sort all this stuff out. Van drawer is first. Thanks for watching this exciting episode. I'm happy to be back. The break was good, I needed it, but I'm happy to be back working. Thanks for watching. Tell you one thing I'm gonna do when I get home. I'm gonna put my feet up. My ankle is aching. Still a bit of time to recover yet.